Welcome everyone to the first episode of the Geriatric Support Network Expert Series. My name is Matthew, and I'm here today with Mr. Keith Huegel from CarePatrol, a senior care advisory and placement service with more than 200 local offices across the United States. Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Huegel. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts. So my first question for you is, what inspired you to become a certified senior advisor?
Hey Matthew, well thanks. I appreciate you asking me that. I started this journey going back about 5 years ago. I guess it'd be six then. Now that I think about that, actually. So I used to be a corporate guy. Traveled a lot. Had a team, a lot of long hours, and on one of the trips that I took, my wife called me, and my father-in-law had stage 4 cancer. Um, I panicked, opened up my laptop from a hotel in California and was trying to Google information and figure out this terminology and these acronyms and everything that they had provided to my wife. And I was frantic. I felt helpless, didn't know what to do. So, fast forward from that point in time, which was about 10 years ago now, I came to find out about Care Patrol, and it was an organization that helped families navigate everything that me and my wife had gone through, the panic, the angst, the stress. And I told my wife, and she said, "You've got to do that." And I said, "All right, let's go help people."
That's so great to hear. Um, so I also wanted to ask you about what the process is like of earning both the certified senior advisor license as well as the certified dementia practitioner license, and what careers you think that these certifications are beneficial for.
Certified senior advisor, there's actually a governing body, and there's a test that you have to take. So there are elements you need to understand about investing, about care, state regulations, a lot of elements that you've got to obviously be very knowledgeable about. After you've helped folks for long enough, you can pursue your CDP, certified dementia practitioner. It requires you've assisted seniors, I believe it's for a year right now. And then there's a similar type of process you need to follow regarding your experience and your knowledge base.
Okay. And also, like for both of these certificates, do you need a bachelor's degree?
No, not required.
Okay. So I want to also ask you more about the work you do at Care Patrol. What's the core mission of the organization, and what do you typically do on a daily basis in your role?
Care Patrol, the best way I describe it to folks is we're kind of like social workers in the community. Our job is to help families find the best possible care options for their family, for their loved ones. So it's very involved. We're very busy. Each day is very different though. So I could just like this morning, I spent 2 hours going to visit a couple of care homes I needed to assess, go and make sure that they were safe on viable options to help families with. But our job is to go. We visit everywhere. So we go to every single independent living, every single assisted living, memory care, care home, skilled nursing facility. We do an assessment, a review, and it goes into our proprietary software. So that when we have a family that we need to help, we go through everything with them. We go through their legal elements, make sure everything's in order, their insurance. We understand their loved one's situation, scenario, diagnosis, geography, budget. We go through additional benefits too, VA benefits. So there's really a lot involved in what we do to help them qualify the resources that they need according to their specific situation. And then we even schedule tours and go on the tours with them. Because a lot of folks when they go somewhere, they don't know what questions to be asking. So, and some people they just want someone there, to support them. This is very emotional. This is a very difficult time for them. So we want to be that shoulder that they can lean on. So we're there to hold the hand of the families all the way through the process.
Yeah, it definitely is definitely a job that you're really moving around a lot throughout the
Yes.
community. And
I
but it's
People
it's
ask me
amazing
where my
what you
office
guys are
is, and I
doing.
say my office has four wheels. So
Yeah. Okay, I also wanted to ask some questions that would be helpful for some of the families watching. How do families know when it's time to consider assisted living for their loved one?
So, probably the best time is when you start to see that mom or dad, or if it's the individual themselves, they're starting to have some difficulty with their ADLs. So ADLs are activities of daily living. That's just things around the house. You know, you're showering by yourself, doing your laundry, going grocery shopping. If you come to find that you're having difficulty with generally three is the mark that you look for. If you're having problems with three of those, then it's probably time to look at making a transition. Get that support and help that you need. Because as we get older, it's unfortunately it gets a little more difficult. And there's also a conversation they want to be having with their primary care physician. Doctor needs to be involved in this decision process because ultimately they're going to be the one that signs documentation that needs to be provided to the assisted living to ensure that the individual can be admitted to the assisted living community.
Yeah, that's really helpful to hear. And what would you say is probably the biggest mistake that families make during this process?
Um, don't use online resources. Just avoid that if all possible. Find an expert in your area, a local person. Chances are there's someone that's similar to what we do. They're actually visiting the communities and going in and seeing what they're all about, getting to know the staff, the team there, the senior team. They know if there are changes, if there are problems. We know we hear everything because we're connected and involved in the community. So we know which communities are having problems right now, staffing, or maybe there's a leader there that's really not ideal for that community. But online resources like a place for mom and such, they're just like a Google search. That's all they are. And they sell your information out to all the communities in the area. And then and especially, you don't want to be inundated with phone calls and emails when you're going through a very stressful and emotional time. And that's what's going to happen. It's really not going to benefit you going through those online resources unless maybe you're just needing in-home care. But there are specifics you need to be looking out for in these communities to make sure that they're safe and it's the right fit for your loved one.
Yeah, I kind of feel like families might be looking at online resources because they think it's free, but isn't Care Patrol also free?
Yes, that's correct. We are free too. No cost to the families that we help. We're compensated on a referral basis by the partners that we work with, but we're impartial in this process. We're data gatherers and advocates for the families.
Yeah, that's really important to know. There are plenty of really skilled people out there who are willing to do work that's really helpful to you for free.
Yes.
And what is one myth about aging or senior care that you wish more people understood? I think one thing you already just said is people kind of always look into those free resources out there.
Yeah. And another big thing that I have a lot of concerns about now is scams for seniors. They're really prevalent right now, and especially with AI coming on the scene, they're going to become more complex and more difficult for a senior to be able to discern if it's legitimate or not. So that's something I'm going through and educating families on right now is how to protect your loved one. You know, there's a role reversal that happens when I talk to a family. I tell them that, listen, the kids become the parents and we got to look after our parents, right? And so we've got to protect them sometimes from themselves. So we got to make sure that we've got things in place like that we're on our parents' bank accounts. We can look and see if anything's happening, like if there's a large, withdrawal, and we can question what's going on and determine if mom and dad have been the victims of any type of fraud or scam. So becoming closer and more involved in our parents' lives, it's inevitable and something everybody needs to be aware of.
Yeah. One thing I want to do in my geriatric support network nonprofit is kind of incorporate initiatives to help people stay away from scams. I'm thinking of going to some independent livings and kind of talking to people about what are the common types of scams, how you can avoid them, and what are the resources and people you should contact during a scam.
That's outstanding. I love hearing that, man. The community would really appreciate that.
Yeah. So everyone watching, stay tuned for that. Uh, Lastly, if you could leave families with one piece of advice as they begin navigating their aging journey with a loved one, what would it be?
Oh boy, the one. It's the number one that I always talk to people about. And it's power of attorney. Make sure that you've got power of attorney in place. And I've helped hundreds of families, and unfortunately, there's a significant percentage of that where people don't have power of attorney in place, and a lot of times it's because their parents feel like they're losing control. But that's not what power of attorney is at all. It's just you're allowing your loved one to speak on your behalf in case you can't. Like something happened, you're in the hospital and you need to get money from your bank. Well, having financial power of attorney will allow your son or daughter to be able to go and have that conversation and make a transaction for you to help out. Let's say pay your rent on your apartment or something. So the three power of attorneys are financial power of attorney, um, medical power of attorney, and then durable power of attorney.
That's really important, helpful information for people to hear. Well, thank you once again, Mr. Hugo, for taking the time to join this interview. Do you have anything else that you'd like to tell our audience?
No, just I appreciate the time, Matthew, and I love what you're doing here. Keep up the good work, and I'm excited about what you're gonna be doing with the communities, man.
Okay. Well, that wraps up this expert series episode. Please check out CarePatrol at carepatrol.com for more information. And please also check out Geriatric Support Network website for more expert series that are soon to come. Thank you all for listening.